So tell us, what was your impression about the infamous Chloe?
Wow, if I have to be honest, I really did not feel Chloe's presence at all until we got to an area of the house that was reconstructed as a bedroom. Initially, when I walked into the plantation grounds, I noticed a tree that had beautiful flowers, but was actually a signal it had a huge significance of death or something to me as soon as I saw it. The vision then came that a lot of slaves were hung from that particular tree. As far as Chloe is concerned, I really only saw her in that bedroom, which I don't believe was a bedroom at the time. I believe that it was actually a slave quarters for her and perhaps maybe one other person. And that's where Master would come down, maybe have sexual relations with her, and then go into his family home. Okay, so what really bothered me most about this house was not Chloe, who seems to be like the star of the show whenever you reading anything about this plantation home. For me, it was a gentleman. I don't know who he was. I'm assuming he was the initial owner of the house. He, even in death, still controls the home. There are a lot of entities and children and people who have passed on who seem to be kept underneath his thumb. His presence and his energy is so traumatic and so evil and so grave. It is what it was the most pronounced to me out of anything that I had felt there. So we went to an area of the house that was the dining room, and that's actually where I first visualized him. He had, balding at the top, very typical of an old man, but a very Scrooge-like gentleman. Pinstripe suit, and I could see the cane, and I could see him knocking this cane on the floor like this was his way of commanding things. And so at the plantation home, you're actually allowed, which is absurd to me, but you're actually allowed to stay on the second floor of the plantation home, which to me carries the worst and the most of the energy that people just keep feeding into. My sister likes to call him Ichabod Crane. But for me, he was just an evil soul. So, last but not least, there was a young lady that I felt really wanted her story to be heard and that nobody speaks about on the plantation. And when we got to the kitchen, I was able to see a young woman, full hair, very similar to mine, very big afro, and also in a maid's uniform that Chloe might have worn as well. And she was actually hanging from the light fixture in the kitchen, above the kitchen table. And that was the most heartbreaking and heart-wrenching for me personally, out of all the things that I had seen. So, Myrtle House. You should go check it out and see for yourself.